Have you ever pondered about the risks unmanaged changes pose in the IT industry? In a constantly evolving world, the information technology industry is no stranger to change. However, there's a growing trend, a shadowy figure lurking in the corners of our digital world: unmanaged changes. These are modifications, big or small, made to the IT ecosystem without following the proper change management protocols. Think of it as an uninvited guest at a party. They could be harmless or they could cause chaos. Unmanaged changes in the IT industry can range from minor software updates to significant infrastructure overhauls. They might seem innocuous or even beneficial in the short term, but without the necessary oversight, they can potentially lead to disastrous consequences. The prevalence of these unmanaged changes is startling. As the IT landscape becomes more complex, the number of changes made on a daily basis is increasing exponentially. This makes it harder for IT professionals to keep track of all the changes happening within their systems. And with the rise of remote work and cloud-based solutions, unmanaged changes can occur from anywhere, at any time, making them even harder to monitor and control. Why is this a growing concern? Well, unmanaged changes are like invisible landmines, lying dormant until something triggers them. They can lead to system instability, unreliable data, security vulnerabilities, or worse, a complete system breakdown. And the worst part is, by the time the damage is identified, it's often too late to reverse it. Moreover, these changes can undermine the very fabric of an organization's IT structure. They can compromise the integrity of data, disrupt workflows, and create a ripple effect that impacts not just the IT department, but the entire organization. So we find ourselves in a precarious situation, navigating through a minefield of unseen dangers. The risks are high, the stakes even higher. But the most concerning aspect of it all? The dangers these unmanaged changes pose are often unseen and underestimated. Consider a case where a minor change led to a catastrophic domino effect. Let's discuss a real-life scenario that unfolded within a thriving tech company. It all began with a seemingly trivial adjustment, an unmanaged change in their IT infrastructure. A team member, intending to improve system performance, tweaked a software setting without documenting or communicating it. At first, the change appeared benign, even beneficial. System performance seemed to improve, and the team member was pleased with their initiative. However, this minor alteration was like a small stone rolling down a hill, gathering momentum and size as it descended. Soon, the small stone turned into a boulder. The undocumented change began conflicting with other software components. Errors started cropping up, causing intermittent service disruptions. Yet, without knowledge of the tweak, the IT team spent countless hours troubleshooting the wrong issues. As the disruptions continued, the company's reputation started to suffer. Clients began experiencing problems with the services, leading to complaints and dissatisfaction. The customer service team was overwhelmed, and the IT team was still in the dark about the root cause. Eventually, the issue escalated to a catastrophic level. The system failed entirely, causing a complete service breakdown. The company had to halt its operations to investigate and rectify the issue, leading to significant financial losses and reputational damage. After a rigorous and time-consuming investigation, the minor change was finally identified as the culprit. A simple, unmanaged alteration had triggered a chain reaction of events, a domino effect that brought a thriving company to its knees. It's a sobering tale, a stark reminder of the potential consequences of unmanaged changes in the IT industry. A minor tweak, left unchecked, can snowball into a major crisis. It emphasizes the importance of managing and documenting every change, no matter how small it may seem. This domino effect, caused by a single minor unmanaged change, resulted in significant losses. The lesson here is clear. Unmanaged changes can bring forth a cascade of unforeseen problems, spelling disaster for even the most robust systems. Now let's delve deeper into the risks of such unmanaged changes. First off, one of the most tangible risks is system instability. When changes are made without proper management, it's like walking on a tightrope blindfolded. You might make it across, or you might crash spectacularly. Unmanaged changes can lead to system crashes, application failures, and even a complete network breakdown. This can result in significant downtime, which can cost an organization both time and money. Next, let's talk about data loss. Data is the lifeblood of any organization. It's the engine that drives decision-making, strategy, and growth. But when change isn't managed, data can slip through the cracks. Whether it's due to accidental deletion, corruption, or some other form of mishap, unmanaged changes can lead to catastrophic data loss. And if you think recovering lost data is as simple as hitting the undo button, think again. The process is often complex, time-consuming, and sometimes impossible. Lastly, but by no means least, we have security vulnerabilities. Each change made to an IT system alters its security landscape. Without a systematic approach to managing these changes, it's extremely difficult to keep track of the new vulnerabilities that may have been introduced. This can leave the door wide open for cybercriminals to exploit these weaknesses, leading to breaches that can cause massive reputational damage and hefty fines. Moreover, these risks don't exist in isolation. They're interconnected, each one potentially exacerbating the others. A system crash could lead to data loss. A security breach could lead to system instability. This ripple effect can create a vicious cycle of chaos and disruption, further underscoring the importance of managing changes in the IT landscape. As you can see, these risks are far-reaching and can severely impact an organization. The reality is, unmanaged changes aren't just a minor inconvenience. They're a major risk, capable of causing significant damage. So, as we move forward, it's essential to remember that managing change isn't just about maintaining order. It's about safeguarding the very foundation of your organization. Is ignoring these unmanaged changes really worth the potential cost? That's a question that should be at the forefront of every decision in the IT industry. Unchecked, unmanaged changes can lead to a host of problems, each with its own hefty price tag. Let's start with the financial cost. A study by the Poneman Institute found that the average cost of an IT incident is a staggering $200,000. That's money directly out of your company's pocket, spent on resolving issues that could have been prevented with proper change management. But it's not just about the money, there's also the reputational cost. In today's digital age, news of a major IT failure can spread like wildfire. Customers lose trust, potential investors get wary, and before you know it, your brand's reputation is in tatters. It's a slippery slope, and one that's hard to climb back up from. According to a study by Deloitte, almost half of organizations that experienced a negative event lost brand value, with 1 in 5 reporting a loss of more than 20%. Then there's the operational cost. Unmanaged changes can lead to system downtime, which in turn leads to loss of productivity. A report by Gartner found that the average cost of IT downtime is $5,600 per minute. Yes, you heard it right, per minute. That's a substantial loss, especially for larger organizations. And let's not forget the human cost. The stress and pressure on IT teams to fix these issues can lead to burnout and high turnover rates, which in turn can lead to even more operational and financial costs. So, is ignoring these unmanaged changes really worth all this potential cost? The answer is a resounding no. The cost of ignorance far outweighs the cost of managing these changes effectively. So, what should be our takeaway from this? Well, we've journeyed through a landscape of unseen dangers, witnessed the domino effect of unmanaged changes, unraveled the risks associated, and understood the cost of ignorance. It's clear that managing changes in the IT industry isn't just an option, it's a necessity. Let's take a moment to revisit our major points. Unseen dangers lurk within the IT sector, often going unnoticed until they've caused significant problems. These issues, like software bugs or security vulnerabilities, can quickly spiral out of control. They can cause a domino effect, where one small change leads to another, creating a chain reaction that can bring even the most robust systems to their knees. We've also unraveled the risks tied to these unmanaged changes. Data breaches, system downtimes, revenue losses, and reputational damage are just a few of the threats that organizations face. Not to mention the cost of rectifying these issues often far surpasses the cost of preventing them in the first place. But perhaps the most profound realization is the cost of ignorance. In an era where change is the only constant, turning a blind eye to unmanaged changes in the IT industry can have devastating consequences. Ignorance isn't bliss, it's a liability. And it's a liability that no organization can afford. So the importance of managing changes in the IT industry cannot be overstated. It's not just about preventing problems, it's about fostering an environment where change is anticipated, managed, and leveraged for growth. It's about creating a culture of continuous improvement, where each change is seen as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and excel. Remember, unmanaged changes in the IT industry are like ticking time bombs. The question is not if they will explode, but when. So let's defuse them before it's too late. Let's embrace change, but let's do it wisely, with foresight and planning. Because in the end, the future of the IT industry, and indeed our world, depends on it.